Good evening, everyone. A warm welcome to all educators joining us today. On behalf of CENTA, we are delighted to have you with us for another insightful session in our ongoing CENTA webinar series for teachers, a space where passionate educators come together to learn, reflect, and grow professionally. Your presence and participation continue to inspire us as we build a stronger, more empowered teaching community. Today's session explores a profound and fascinating intersection. Are science and spirituality two parallel lines that never meet? Or as they two different lenses through which we view the same profound truths? In this session, we move beyond the either or debate to explore how a holistic integration of both can transform the way we teach and the way we learn. The students learns. Education is often divided into the objective world of science and the subjective world of personal meeting. Today, we are proposing a holistic inquiry approach, treating both science and spirituality as valid pathways to answering the big questions of existence. We will explore the intersection of empirical discovery and inner contemplative wisdom. You won't just listen to a theory today, you will engage in a guided inquiry into your own true nature through direct experience, modeling the same curiosity we hope to ignite in our students. Through this session, we will look at practical methods to help students explore complex existential questions without bias, experience mindfulness-based inquiry firsthand, and gain insights into how these deep themes can be subtly woven into standard subjects like maths and science. Our goal is to help you foster a classroom environment where critical thinking meets intuitive reflection and where not knowing is celebrated as a powerful starting point for discovery. And to guide us through this unique exploration, we have a facilitator who perfectly embodies this blend of rigorous logic and inner wisdom. It is my pleasure to introduce today's facilitator, Mr. Ankur Rupani. A very warm welcome to St. Talk, sir.
Thank you.
Ankur brings a unique East meets West and logic meets liturgy perspective to education. With a BTech from IIT and Masters in Engineering, his foundation is deeply rooted in rigorous scientific discipline. However, a deep seated passion for the science of the soul led him to pursue an MA in spirituality from Naroba University. Ankur has served extensively as a teacher, trainer, and curriculum consultant, and he currently shares his love for numbers and presence as maths and mindfulness educator at Swada School. His work is dedicated to showing that the path of the mathematicians and the path of the meditator are far more similar than we think, making him the perfect guide for today's journey. Sir, we are honored to have you, and over to you.
Thank you, Vishuka, so much for that introduction. Everyone can see the PPT? Great. Welcome everyone. I'm really happy to be part of this and facilitating this inquiry together. Whether science and spirituality, do they meet? What is, does one lead to the other? And that's what we'll explore, an inquiry approach, science and spirituality. And I would request all of you to be there with me till the end. It might go a little above because uh, I actually earlier thought it was 2 hours, but then I had to squeeze it to 1 hour. But the final meditation and the deeper inquiry is at the end. So please stay with me till the end. So I'll start with my journey a little bit, since you've seen that I've had a very journey from science, engineering, and then to spirituality. So how and many people ask me, what led me to this. So I'm just gonna start with the big questions. Um, Sometime I think in, I don't know whether it was school days or college days, but somewhere at high school or college, I started asking some big questions, or maybe they just came to me somehow. Does the universe have an edge, for example? like just looking up to the sky. I don't know how that question popped up, or looking at life, does life have an origin, and what is the origin of life? And somewhere I was guided to this two books, Paul Davis, very amazing author, and highly recommend these two books. And this triggered a lot of interest in exploring further. And these books, very interestingly, it left me in more wonder at the end. Like it was not that they answered the questions, but he left you with wonder and mystery at the end of these books. And that is what actually triggered my spiritual interest. I met a friend and I started reading Bhagavad Gita, and like that. So IIT days, all this happened, and then I also figured that education could be much more interesting. When I started reading these kind of books, I was like, wow, it could be so much more interesting than just the dry stuff that we read. So that propelled me to explore a master's in something which kind of connected cosmology, spirituality, and science and all that. And that is what has actually led me to the second master's, which was Creation Spirituality by Matthew Fox. um, Matthew Fox was, as you can see, the creation spirituality is a spirituality of the future, and his theology of cosmic Christ is the theology of the future. Was said by Beat Griffiths, a very well-known, he had a ashram, Beat Griffiths, which is ecumenical, and so these are his words. So basically, what is creation spirituality? I just want to start with that, and then we'll move on to the inquiry. So it was a very amazing model which Matthew Fox came up with, which had four vayas, via positiva, about joy, awe, and wonder. And that is what today's actually session is all about. The wonder of this universe, the awe of this universe. But also there are other vayas which are explored in creation spirituality, which was negativa, the darkness, the sadness, the tough times that we go through, and the creativa, the birthing or the creativity or the compassion that births in all of us. And finally, the transformativa, how do we then use it for transformation in the world? So they were amazing courses. This was something 20 years back, and I still remember those courses which I had, like cosmology and spirituality, or painting as meditation, or photography as social change, or a study of the different spiritual traditions. Like, for example, Native American tradition, we had someone who came and he took us to a sweat lodge. So it was experiential, okay, a deeply experiential education. And that's when I felt, this is how education should be, completely experiential. There was not one moment in those 2 years that was boring at all. We were writing papers, reading books, doing artwork, and absolutely fascinating. So today, like my the idea of science and spirituality is very much inspired from this course which I had taken, which was one of those course in that masters, that is creation spirituality and cosmology. How the universe, what is the universe story from the science point and from the spiritual point. So these two books I read and wrote research, and the structure was very interesting. Read books, attend class, have discussion in the class, and write a paper on that. And I feel that's how it should be at least at the high school level. We have very boring textbooks. Instead, we can have very interesting books like these to read, and that would make physics and the cosmology and all that so interesting. So now let's start with our inquiry. Okay, what does inquiry do? Inquiry leads to discovery, and that was in the beginning. That was what we mentioned about discovery. So if we look at inquiry, in inquiry we are not having any subject. You don't say you could inquire about anything. So in science also you can do inquiry, in spirituality also we can do inquiry. So in science the inquiry is of the outer world, the observed world, what we can call, the prakriti. And the spirituality is the inquiry of the inner world, the observer, or the purusha. And so we'll explore these two inquiries a little bit in science, and then what that some of the inquiries in science lead us to, and then explore some inquiry in spirituality, and finally, like I said, directly experience something, inquire into our current experience and see what we discover. Okay, so let's start with our first, and here's a one beautiful quote before we move to the inquiry. That is, Shri Ravi Shankar says, curiosity is the mother of science and wonder is the mother of spirituality. So yes, like I said, those books which I mentioned in the beginning, they would start off with the inquiry, lot of curiosity questions, but it would end with wonder. So in one way spirituality starts with wonder, science ends like curiosity leads us, for to more and more discoveries. But at some point when we ask some big questions, it leads us to wonder and to spirituality. So let's start with inquiry in science. Any inquiry is first and foremost about observation. I think you'll all agree. So I would now like all of you to participate. My first question is, what is one inquiry you have done or facilitated in the recent past which you greatly enjoyed? So you, maybe some of you are science teachers, or maybe other subjects, or maths, or any subject, or something in your personal life. If in your chat, if you could type in, what is one inquiry you have done or facilitated in the recent past which you greatly enjoyed? And so if some answers could come, I can take it up. And meanwhile, I'll just continue with the this thing about observation. So all inquiries start with very, very keen observation. So now if you want to know the future, I'll take you. So I don't know if you've seen the movie Back to the Future. There is a car in it and you can travel. So let's assume you've traveled to the past. So meanwhile, I'll also keep reading the answers which have come. So let's assume you've traveled to the past. So what a very interesting inquiry has enjoyed recently. Inquiry regarding mood swings in adolescent. Regarding mood swings in adolescent. And that's a fascinating inquiry about the brain research. Today I'm not going to go into the brain a lot, but that is a fascinating inquiry. What's happening in our brain? Recently I attended one training, world of training, and there we had a fascinating session on that. Another inquiry has come. Sonali says, does God exist? What that's another interesting inquiry to look at. Okay, so keep typing in your inquiries which you enjoyed, and let's move to something that Newton. Back to the Future, somewhere around 1850s. So can you tell me what was the observation that we all know, Newton did? Can someone type it in? We have an inquiry. I inquired about seabed and everything. Another Madhumita has making presentation in Indian Philosophical Congress in IT Mumbai. You greatly enjoyed that. Okay. Artificial ripening mangoes. Inquiry on that. How interesting. So now my question is, what did Newton observe? Can anyone just type it in? And just imagine you are at that time. Don't think that we know everything. So imagine you've gone back to you've used the car in Back to the Future movie, and you've gone back to, so we really don't know much about gravity, but something or some observation that Newton did. Type it in. Yes, so very famous. In the books generally it say that he observed falling an apple from a tree, but basically he observed falling objects, let's just say that. And he inquired into the why does a object fall, things fall down, right? And I have some things with me, and I'm just gonna do that activity here. So I have one piece of paper, okay, and I have one. So always remember, when you do it in class, also always start with observation. So you don't just say, okay, Newton did that, but you actually do the activity. So here's one piece of paper. Here's another. It's a small uh, this one sharpener. I'm gonna drop them. Obviously both are gonna fall, okay, so both have fallen. Now what do you think, why so think of that time, okay, that you are at that time. So what would be your first thought when I observe something falling? What would be your first thought how, like, we are trying to figure out, just imagine you are at that time and then figuring it out. So when I observe something falling, what do you think would have been a next thought that comes in mind, uh, as Newton, or as a person who's inquiring into this observation? That obviously, if it was at rest and suddenly something is in motion, so because already he had figured out that if something is in motion, there needs to, something is stationary and starts moving, there needs to be a force. So as soon as he observed that there is an object and then it has suddenly started moving, so he concluded what? That there must be a force, right? So, and then of course we call that force the gravity force, but it was an invisible force, that a mysterious force. But he had to come up with it, because obviously there must be a force, because suddenly the object has started moving. So according to his laws, the if the object has started moving from rest, there must be a force, and that force we call gravity. And does anyone recognize the photo on the right, the other great inquirer and explorer? So that was Galileo Galilei, who had also looked at all these inquiry questions, why are objects falling, motion of satellites, and all that. And he had earlier figured out ki, yes, when an object is falling down, it is, accelerating, and he had figured out the acceleration using some experiment, which I would like you to try it out when you, if you are doing the class. So it's a very simple experiment, just dropping an object along a bend and observing the time it is taking to move down. So using that, he figured out some relationship between the time period, what time it takes, the distance it covers, etc. So anyway, so this was the observation. And then of course you can go further into inquiry, like Newton went further. Okay, like I said, there is a paper, there is this, they have different mass. Do they fall at the same time to the ground, or different time? What do you think? A piece of paper and this, what do you think? Do they fall at the same time? And or same piece of paper, if I crumple it and then keep it, do they fall at the same time? So these are some questions to explore. Yes, they fall at the same time. If suppose the paper is there, it might be a different time because of air. But if the air friction, the resistance of air is taken out, then both are gonna fall at the same time, is the observation. So then Newton went on further, saying that yes, the force, does that mean the force is the same on both the objects? What do you think? If they both fall at the same time, does it mean the force is same on both the objects? Welcome from Kenya, Kiansui. So the answer is no. The force is not the same. It is the acceleration which is the same. The force is in fact greater on the object which has greater mass, proportional to the mass, but it cancels out. So acceleration is the same. So observation and inference. Okay. Now uh, going deeper in the inquiry, and Newton did not go deeper in the inquiry that what is that gravity. Okay, he's figured out, okay, he called it an invisible force. And but he couldn't go deeper. But the one person who went deeper, as you can see, please type his name. I'm sure everyone will be absolutely aware. And what did he discover? What did he observe? Can some, if anyone knows what is the observation which he made, which led to the his theory of what gravity is? So you can type in your answers. So his observation, it was related to Mercury's orbit. Okay, so there was Newton's laws could not explain slight aberration in Mercury's orbit, and that led to Einstein to think about what really gravity is. And then he came up with the idea that no, gravity seems to not be just a force, it is a space-time curvature. So it is geometry at the very very you know if I ask you what gravity is, he came up with the mathematics of it, and the mathematics space time, and that is what gravity is. And time again, so now there is a lot of credibility for his. These are different inquiries, and make them do observations, make them do it. Of course, then when we go deeper, then that those inquiries make the students the story behind it. So we all know the behind the atom. Then we found okay, so the nucleus which has the proton electrons around it, and so on and so forth. So these are the scientists who explored all of that. What did they finally final protons and neutrons? They said
Sir, sorry, sir. We are facing some network issue. Can you check
leptons
off your side?
and very elementary particles.
Hello,
And
sir.
then
Can you?
finally we said okay, yes, Vishika.
Sorry, sir. Actually, there is some network issue. Your voice is bit lagging a bit in between. Can you please check your connection?
Oh, okay, okay. One second. Uh, is it better now?
Uh, it sounds better when you say the sentence. Can you take forward? Can you speak more, sir?
Otherwise, I can also use the hotspot. Let me try to use the hotspot. One second.
Okay, it's sounding better, वैसे now.
Yes. Now I've connected through hotspot. I think it might be even better now.
Okay, sir. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, right. So the atomic inquiry, if we go into that, then we find that it is like matter hardly exists, because if you look at it, if you compare, there's an analogy that if you look at football fields, let's say there are 10 football fields, the electrons could be like a blade of grass on the periphery of the 10 football fields, and the nucleus right at the center, a very very small ant at the center, and everything else is empty space. Further down is the fundamental particles are even further down. So basically what scientists also have started discovering when they've explored is it looks like everything is just energy, everything is just frequency, everything is vibration. Famous quote by Tesla: if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Now, one experiment which we had looked at when I was in my master's with Brian Swim, even if you remove all elementary particles, you are still left with quantum vacuum. And that is referred by scientists as quantum field. Now, the quantum field is very, very dynamic. Every moment the particles, antiparticles are, coming out of the quantum field, and it's just very, very dynamic. So it's not a vacuum, it is a dynamic field. Particles as ripples, as you can see in quantum field theory, particles are ripples in this continuous field. And you will find a lot of similarity with spiritual knowledge and spiritual wisdom over here. I'm not saying that it is verifying it, I'm just drawing the parallels. Okay, we should not try to support spirituality with science or support science with spirituality. These two are different inquiries, but both are seemingly giving similar, beginning to give similar answers. Okay, so quantum field theory says, as you can see, all these fundamental particles are nothing but ripples in this field, quantum field. So Tao physics Fritjof Capra therefore says that quantum theory thus reveals a basic oneness of the universe. So basically, science is now beginning to point to the same oneness which spirituality is pointing to. It shows that we cannot decompose the world into independent, existing, smallest units, like we initially thought, building blocks, but everything seems to be a field and everything seems to be interconnected. So in Tower Physics, he brings this idea. Even if you look at how the universe began, that itself is where everything is interconnected, because the observations suggested to us that universe must have started, because every observation is that the galaxies are moving away from each other. So if you go back in time, there must be a point where they were all, at one point, where space and time also there, and then from that big bang the space and time also emerged. So anyway, I won't go into too much of it. There's a beautiful movie, Inner World Outer World, I will recommend that you can watch. So basically, cosmogenesis or big bang, it began with the big bang. Rather than a static backdrop, the cosmos is a dynamic, continuously expanding energy event. Space and time, exploded at speeds even much, much faster than speed of light. And the quantum field which I was mentioning, the particle antiparticle, so the speed of the expansion was so rapid that the particles actually got separated. Like otherwise they would, in the quantum field, particle antiparticle is coming and colliding and disappearing straight away. But in the Big Bang, it didn't happen. And there's something called baryogenesis, which such scientists said the slight difference happened between matter and antimatter, and very, very minuscule difference is the universe, visible universe. So anyway, the then what happened? Like, let's say protons, neutrons started coming together, hydrogen started forming, and that is when stars started forming. And that is when hydrogen starts forming and combining and helium starts forming, nuclear fusion happens, and that releases energy, and that is what we call the stars. Our sun is nothing but hydrogen fusing to helium, releasing all the energy that we need. And what about the higher elements? Most of the stars are around this, but many stars go further till iron. And iron is called the, the element where the stars die, because till iron gets formed, the stars are generating energy. Once iron is formed, after that, to make the higher elements, the energy gets it requires energy, so stars start dying, and it's called a supernova. And when supernova happens, explosion happens, and then the higher elements get born. So everything that we have today on our earth has come out of explosion of stars or death of stars, all the higher elements. So quantum mechanics reveals that subatomic particles are not isolated, it's all connected. Eastern mysticism also says, Taoism, Hinduism, different traditions also say very much similar. Universe is a communion of subjects rather than a collection of objects. So that is the science is beginning to move towards. Now let's begin our inquiry on spirituality. Spirituality, the big question. Like we ask big questions in science, generally those questions are about outside world. Spirituality, obviously the big question starts with who am I? And uh, who am I is a question where why did that question come? Okay, so what is the observation which leads to spiritual inquiry? We know, many of us know the story of Gautam Buddha, that Siddharth, he went and he saw old age, disease, and that the suffering he saw. And then the question came, is there an end to suffering? So his question came from that observation. Ramana Maharshi, if you know, a great saint of India, his observation also was something similar. He saw death in his family very at a young age. Suddenly his uncle or someone in the family died, and suddenly he said, what happened? And he inquired deeply into it, so much so that he experienced it himself, and experienced that no, when I do not die, when the body dies, all the spiritual observation is about observing that we are something much deeper dimension than just the body. Okay, all these different masters that you see, Nisargadatta Maharaj, Lao Tzu, Taoism, that tradition also, he observed nature very carefully. Okay, Thich Nhat Hanh, a Buddhist monk from recent times. And very recently we have Eckhart Tolle. He went through depression, and during depression he observed one day that, oh my god, all these depressing thoughts are not me. Suddenly he had a awakening. So sometimes awakening happens suddenly. Shankaracharya, the great Indian mystic, Muji Baba, a recent mystic. Okay, so all these are masters who awaken to the truth of who we are. Who am I? They ask the question. I've had the fortune of meeting some recent masters like Naveed, Amit Shri, Yahu Baba. These are some recent masters. I've interacted with them. And there are accidental self discoveries. So, this is Anita Murjani and Dr. Eben Alexander. They've had near death experience, and they discovered themselves through the near death experience. So, sometimes you get lucky and you get accidentally you discover also, and but most of the time it is through a process that of inquiry, of deeper inquiry, that we discover. So what I'm trying to tell you is that just like in science there is a process of inquiry and we discover, similarly spirituality also we can discover, and we can make this part of our education, and very important it is to make it part. And what is the discovery? Let's hear that in words of Rupert Spira, a very amazing modern day non duality teacher. The discovery that peace, happiness, and love are ever present within our own being and completely available at every moment of experience under all conditions is the most important discovery that anyone can make. All these masters, they say that the most important discovery is the self discovery. While science is very important, we should do science and we should do inquiry of the external world, this inquiry of who we are is as, or if not more important. Okay, so in education, as educators, I think it is very critical that we engage in this deeper inquiry. What it means to awaken, Eckhart Tolle says very beautifully, you realize you are not your compulsive thinking mind, in very simple terms, that you are pure awareness or pure consciousness. So, was there a Big Bang? So, spiritual traditions say no, it is just appearance in consciousness or appearance in awareness. Sri Ravi Shankar says that Big Bang, even if you say it happened, it's just an appearance in consciousness, just like the whole and manifested world is just an appearance in consciousness. So, what is reality according to Advait or non duality? It is just that the universe is consciousness, and in that fundamental consciousness, everything is appearing and disappearing. So that brings us now, we've had a lot of talk and everything. Now what we'll do is let's experience something. We'll start some music, and I will guide you into some direct inquiry. Okay. So I'll just like you to relax now. Let's listen to some music. Great. And I'd like you to all to first do one simple movement with me. I'd like you to just put your hands like this. Breathe in, let your hands go up. And as you breathe out, let your hands go down. Breathe in, let your hands move up, and breathe out in a circle. Let's do it a few times with full awareness. And just be with your movement and your breath. And relax. And let's come back to a sitting position. I'm not able to see anyone, so I don't know, but I hope you're trying and hope you. Now, very, very important. Now we are beginning our inquiry. I like the commitment from everyone to be in this inquiry with me. Next 5 7 minutes, we'll do this inquiry. So sit with your eyes closed. Just close your eyes and just let's inquire our current experience. Just inquire into your current experience as it is happening right now. There are some sounds. There is the sound of the music in the background. Where I am sitting, I can hear the sound of the fan. Similarly, wherever you are sitting, just inquire into your current experience and just be aware. All the instruction is just to be aware of the current experience. And just be okay with it. Whatever is the experience, just be okay with it. Now let's inquire a little bit further. What else is happening in your experience right now? Maybe there is a awareness of the touch. The clothes are touching your skin. Maybe there is, if you're sitting on your floor, your feet, maybe they are touching the floor. Just be aware of that. What else is there in your awareness? Are you aware of your breath? Just inquire into that. The breath is moving and you are just observing it. Now we'll go a little bit more subtler. Notice there might be thoughts in your awareness right now. Maybe some thought, oh, what is happening? What is this session all about? Or whatever thought is there, just notice the thoughts. They are also just like all the other objects, they are just objects in your awareness. They are coming in, floating, just like clouds floating in the sky. Thoughts are floating in your sky of awareness. And we are not judging any thought. Whatever be the thought, let it come, but don't hold on to the thought, just let it pass. And try to keep your eyes closed. And now just become aware of something even subtler, that is, how is your feelings? Inquire into your feelings. Are you feeling happy? Are you feeling peaceful? Are you feeling whatever is the feelings? And also inquire into that these have been changing. Everything that we've inquired into till now, the sounds, they have appeared and disappeared. There were some sounds little while back, now they are not there. There were some thoughts little while back, now they are not there. Some feelings appeared and they are also gone. So all these objects are appearing and disappearing in your awareness. And they have been appearing and disappearing from the time you took birth. Right from the beginning, there have been sounds, there have been various visions that we've experienced, so much food that we've tasted. So basically, so many objects of awareness have come and gone. But you have been there, a witness to all of this. And so now let's turn our attention to this field of awareness itself. Just like earlier we said, science is beginning to suggest there is a field. Now notice this field within yourself, this field of pure awareness, in which all these appearances appeared and disappeared. And just like the sky remains untouched by any cloud, just inquire, is it applying to you as well? Are you untouched? I will ask you a few questions about yourself, that is awareness itself, and try to answer from your own experience, from your own heart. Do you, as awareness, have any boundary? Not as the body, I'm not asking you as the body, but as the awareness, do you sense any boundary to you? As awareness, do you feel that you start somewhere and you end somewhere? Or is there a continuous field of awareness? And does it need anything to complete it? Or is this awareness complete by itself? Does it need anything to be more happy, more peaceful, or is this awareness, happiness, and peace itself? Do you need to go anywhere, do anything to find peace and happiness, or is this your true nature? Now, for a minute, I will not say anything, just be in your experience with your eyes closed. And slowly and gently, we will become aware now again of all these objects that were there, but maintaining this state of natural awareness, pure consciousness, and pure awareness. Slowly, you can open your eyes. And so now I'd like you to share your answers. What have we discovered about ourselves? So remember, this is an inquiry. So it has to come from, I'm not gonna say, you have to say what has been your discovery in this few moments of inquiry. And this was very short. Like I said, generally I would take it a little longer, but because we have short time, I'm just giving a small glimpse. So what have we discovered? Let's type it in. What have you discovered about yourself? I am, and then you put in your whatever comes to you. So let's go back to the slide. So I am. What have we discovered? I am. Now I would like you. You can just stop at that also. Like I said, I am is itself the discovery. But if you want to add any adjective, what would you add? I am dash. So just type it in. Whatever you experienced, whatever you felt through this inquiry. So while you type, I will play a video. So this discovery, this inquiry has been done from ages. And everyone, the interesting thing about spiritual inquiry is that almost everyone seems to say the same thing, that we've all discovered the same thing. We, whatever we call it, consciousness or awareness or love or peace, all the spiritual masters seem to suggest the same discovery. So gonna play one video. Let's see a very, how so many masters are there in this video and all say the same thing. So can we play that video? And you all can enjoy it, sing along, dance along. It's a very beautiful. We can increase the volume for this.
I am that, 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 I am, I am that, I am, I am that, I am, I am that, I am not my body, not my physical qualities. I am not my thinking, not my mental philosophies. I am not my emotions, not my race or religion, not my country and nation, not even a man or a woman. I am that, 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 I am, I am that, I am, I am that, I am, I am that, I am. Nisaga Data says that I am that, I am. Shri Moji Baba says that I am that, I am. Sri Ramana said that I am that, I am. Jesus Christ said that I am that, I am. I am not my history, not imagination or memories, not my talents or my abilities. I was here long before they came to me. I am not my circumstance, not my money in the bank, not good or bad reputation, not my job, not my occupation. I am not, 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 I am, I am that, I
So I think
am, I
that's
am that, I am, I am that, I am Nisanga.
so that's the discovery. I am that. I am the pure consciousness. I am the awareness. All have a body. We all have an identity with which we function in the world. But we are beyond that. We are beyond the identity. We are the pure consciousness or pure awareness. And there is a map of consciousness. Manifestation science says. I'm not going to go into that today. We can discuss that another. So now let's discuss last 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes. What do we do? How do we bring this to the schools? So I have been facilitating in my previous schools, and you're currently at Swada also. In fact, already it is happening. Well-being and wisdom circles. So, sitting together for mindfulness, for this kind of a deeper inquiry, starting with some movements. Always start with movement meditations. Okay, today though we did very short, but generally I do 5 to 10 minutes of movement meditation, followed by guided inquiry of 5 to 10 minutes. For older kids, you can do longer, and for teachers, if you're doing a teacher circle, obviously you can do much longer. Then after that you can have art expression. Like I told you, in my masters, art was very important, and even here at Waldorf school where I work, art is very important. You can have a expression through art. What you've discovered, many times you might not want to express in words, but you want to express in art. So art expression time can be incorporated. Wisdom reading, or read a little wisdom from. I have a book which I've compiled called the Book of Wisdom, which I can share, which is simple spiritual wisdom from different traditions, even from movies like Kung Fu Panda. Okay, so it's a movie of wisdom actually. If you see, lot of wisdom is there in Kung Fu Panda, and so many movies also, so many books. There is a lot of wisdom. And then after the wisdom reading, you can have the reflection and discussion, and you will be amazed. I've done with grade 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and even grade 1 and 2, and you'll be amazed what reflection can happen if you had a good facilitation of that. And then finally sharing. So like right now I would like the final thing. We can't do all of it right now, but we've done the small guided meditation. Now I would like to do the small sharing. So the floor is open last 5-7 minutes. And then I will of course show you at the very end what all a few other resources. But before that, little sharing. What has been your experience? I know it was very quick, but if you'd like, anyone like to share your inquiry experience, sharing of any gratitude or affirmations are I am and then an adjective. So would anyone like to share? Okay, I can see. Oh, sorry. I'm seeing now lots of answers. Our boundaries, our mood and thoughts. Nice session, relaxing, not finding any boundary. Nice session. There are deep seated problems one need to expect here and now. Yes, boundaries are mind and thought. Jumps from one to another thought. Love the session. I am relaxed. I am in search of happiness. Also, Nalini, just change that a little bit. Instead of saying I'm in search of happiness, start saying I am happiness. There is nothing to search. You are the nature of your being is happiness. I am satisfied, relaxed, I am happy and peaceful. I am tired but peaceful. I am relaxed. Beautiful scenes, much relaxed. Okay, awesome, awesome. Thank you for such a rejuvenated session. Build self confidence. Very good and innovative session. Very informative. Thank you, sir. Feel relaxed and achieved. I am relaxed. Wonderful, guys. And being relaxed is very, very critical. Everyone, like we as teachers, we and students, we all should be relaxed. When you are relaxed, that's when you are natural. Okay. So that is wonderful sharing. Now, just ending with a few, like how do we bring it? So, consciousness based education, there are many models out there. There is Waldorf education, Rudolf Steiner. I'm actually now working in a Waldorf school. So, that is a model. I'll just read out what Steiner says. To be free is to be, so it's about being free, free in your mind of all the compulsive thinking. Just be free of it. To be free is to be capable of thinking one's own thoughts, not the thoughts merely of the body or of society, but thoughts generated by one's deepest, most original, most essential spiritual self. So that is the main thing of education. This is Krishnamurti. Education is the true sense is helping the individual to be mature and free. So notice all these spiritual teachers who started education. They talk about freedom. Being free of compulsive thinking is the main thing. And Aurobindo, true knowledge is not attained by thinking, it is what you are, it is what you become. So, that is what we need to bring to our children as well. So, further exploration, I'll recommend a few movies. What the Bleep Do We Know? Inner World, Outer World. Genius, Einstein's movie is there. Books are Tao of Physics, Biology of Belief, and Power of Now. And of course, like I said, this is a very short session, so do get in touch. I can help you one on one, group coaching, facilitation for inquiry based teaching, wisdom and well being circles if you are owner at your school. Art of Living, I am a teacher, so we can bring you the happiness course where you experience yourself as happiness. So these are my coordinates. And also there is a upcoming program, 1 year program, where you'll get exposed to all these philosophies which a friend is doing and I'm supporting her. So if you want about that also, you can get in touch. You Waldorf, Aurobindo, Krishnamurti, etc. So we have a 1 year course on that. So these are my coordinates. WhatsApp number is there, email is there, and YouTube is One Consciousness, and Instagram is Ankur Rupani. So get in touch, and that's it. In fact, I've finished it exactly on time. So I thought it will be less time, but I think so. Bindu is saying feeling relaxed and came to know about self, and that is the amazing thing. Within 10 minutes, we've discovered ourselves. You don't have to keep practice. Like you don't have to wait for tomorrow. You are your natural self today, right now. Okay. So that is the discovery. So there is spiritual discovery and there is scientific discovery, and both are essential for education, for us as teachers, and to bring it to children.
Thank you, Ankur, for such an engaging, grounding, and thought-provoking session. I'm certain
Thank
our
you.
teachers are living with a fresh perspective on how science and spirituality, when integrated with intention, can truly expand the horizon of learning for every student in our classroom. And the chats were extremely active. Thank you again. Thank you
Thank you
for
so much.
yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you for joining today's session. We hope you found it genuinely helpful. We recently updated our app a bit, so please be patient with us while we walk you through the steps to acquire your record of participation. If you have already registered for the session, please follow these steps. Step 1, open the Center app on your device. Step 2, navigate to the progress section. Step 3, in the progress section, open upcoming and click on today's webinar. Step 4, click on submit feedback. Step 5, enter the 3-digit code. Today's code is 326. I repeat, 326. You'll also see the feedback form. Step 6, complete the feedback form and you will be able to download your record of participation instantly. If you have not registered for this webinar and want to register now to download your record of participation, please follow these steps. Step 1, open the Center app on your device. Step 2, navigate to the Learn section. Step 3, in the Learn section, scroll down to see upcoming Centox and go to today's webinar. Step 4, click on Enroll Now. Once you have registered, click on Submit Feedback. Step 5, enter the 3-digit session code. That is, today's code is 326. I repeat, 326. You'll also see this code on the screen right now. Step 6, complete the feedback form and you will be able to download your record of participation instantly. This process was introduced to streamline your experience and ensure your participation is recognized right away. Before we close, a quick note: if you are an educator interested in facilitating a CENTALK session, we warmly invite you to visit centa.org/about us to explore the competencies and standards. You may also propose topics and key takeaways by emailing us at team@center.org, and our team will help you align them with the structured theme and competencies. Our team will be happy to review and connect with you based on the themes planned for each week. We look forward to meaningful collaboration and shared learning experiences. Thank you all for your active participation in today's session. We truly appreciate your engagement. To register for more upcoming webinar, please visit the Center app. Have a wonderful day. We look forward to seeing you at the next session. Thank you.